Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again to Bajuka Bog Radio. I am DJ Ghoul Dude or MTG Ghoul Dude, however you want to talk to me with. And we have had some wild things going on in the Magic world recently, starting off specifically with how apparently Elon Musk wants to buy Hasbro. What? That's wild. And then a a card that is supposed to have fixed a problem has now become the problem. So let's go on ahead and get into that. So apparently Elon Musk is considering buying Hasbro, and we're just all going to be up in arms about that because I feel like we all know where that's going to go after that. But I'm going to have all the articles that I'm talking about down in the comment in the description below if you want to go and read them for yourselves. I highly would appreciate you guys to do that. I'm just really just, regurgitating at this point because what Magic content creator doesn't? But yeah, apparently Elon Musk has thrown it out there, hey, in a tweet, hey, how much is Hasbro? Over the fact that some of the things that they've been doing with D&D has really caused a stir up with him because apparently in another tweet he said nobody, and I mean nobody, gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons and Dragons. What the is wrong with Hasbro and WotC? May they burn in hell. But I feel like this is just a ploy to get attention because these are, this is probably the second one that he's made about trying to buy a company. I think it says in the article he made a very similar tweet about purchasing news company MSNBC, which is wild. But, apparently there's just way too much, and there is way too many people that are just unhappy about the idea of, somebody that's coming just as what we've been used to, somebody coming completely from the outside and not knowing how to run a company. And it's about this time we're just all going through the mud right now because we're all going through it. We all might not be feeling it the same way as other people are, as everybody else is, but everybody is trying to get the best out of this game, and me including. And I just feel like if I'm on the fence, because bringing some more money into the game, with it being less, with Hasbro being less dependent on Wizards of the Coast to bring in as much revenue as it is, because at this point that has Magic the Gathering and Monopoly Go, and we do not need to be drained any more than we already are. At this point, me personally, I can barely keep up with the releases. I used to be able to comfortably do, set reviews, and now I'm like, whew, it's getting hard to try and make time for every set review that's coming out. We're getting what is it, Pioneer Masters or whatever, coming in not too long from now for Arena, and that's going to be wild. But I feel like, that's fine. Arena players, it is what it is. But yeah, and there's a lot of people that have made their opinions known. Like Jane Cameron put it succulently, absolutely not. I don't want him anywhere near this game. Michael Jimenez, and I apologize if I mess up any of these names, took things to a further step and said, I couldn't even imagine a worse possible outcome. Hasbro would be better off ceasing operations than to let Musk anywhere near it. And then Kevin Villa added, if he buys Hasbro, he's going to fire all the writers, artists, and card designers, replace them with AI. And there probably is some truth to that. But, other people in different communities are voicing their opinions on this, because this is not just a Magic the Gathering problem. This is a tabletop gaming problem because, what's stopping if Elon were to possibly do it? And I mean, right now it's all speculation. It's just a tweet. Well, if he were to do it, what's stopping any other big millionaire, trillionaire, whatever, to come in and take a game and run it into the ground, or come in and just do whatever they want with it? Because I mean, apparently there was a group on Privateer of the East, and they set up a poll if whether or not that they believe Musk should buy Hasbro, and at the time of the writing of the article, there was like 24% of respondents that said yes, that he should. 2% said not sure, and about 74 in a landslide said that he should not. So I mean, that's a pretty overwhelming, victory on, one over the other. It's a big majority swing, because I mean, if you think about it, we are already suffering from, somebody that's the company that is over Wizards of the Coast not having any ability to not just drain the player base that it has for all the money that they have. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think that the possibility of Elon Musk buying Hasbro is a good thing, or is it a bad thing? But speaking of whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, apparently Vexing Bauble has become just the worst problem in a format that many of you may not care about, but it's a horrible problem in Legacy right now, because it is allowing decks that usually couldn't get around, having those free responses, like what is it called? Force of Will. Force of Will. And it's just okay. I'm just gonna read the article because they explain it a whole lot better. And this article is also written by Riley Hicks. In any MTG format where free mana spells are an option, there are generally some of the most powerful things you can do. Sure, you need to spend other resources in order to enable them, but being able to use them right away at the start of the game makes it more worth it. Being able to counter powerful spells as early as turn 1 in Legacy and Commander is paramount. Generally, free spells are used in decks trying to do unfair things, whether you are playing fast mana like Lotus Petal or trying to cascade into Living End. A lot of the most broken things you can do in Magic starts with something free. Vexing Bauble was created to level the playing field a bit, and apparently it went a little too far. Costing just 1 mana to cast and offering a draw when it's no longer useful, or when it's time for you to do your free stuff. As long as there are no free spells being cast in your MTG format, there's a little reason not to play Vexing Bauble. This can help protect your powerful threats and slow down combo players trying to win the game quickly. At least that's what it was supposed to do. In an ironic twist, Vexing Bauble is now promoting the exact type of play that it seemed to be created to stop. Force of Will can no longer stop Legacy combo players, and players now calling for its ban in the Legacy format. If I remember correctly, the Vintage? You're restricted in Vintage from being able to play. You can only play one, and that's probably the scariest thing, is that you can only play one in Vintage. Because I mean, I've said it before and I've said it again. If it gets banned in one format, that's pretty bad. If it gets banned in multiple formats, it's probably pretty bad. If it gets restricted in a Legacy or Vintage format, man, that is going way too far. Because I mean, you have to think, for a card to be that good, to be stalling out games or be one-siding games, that it has to be doing something too super powerful. Like right now, it is like, we're talking about Legacy right now, but To be fair, it is legal in Modern, it's legal in Legacy, Commander, Oathbreaker, Historic, Brawl, Timeless, but it's already restricted in Vintage. So that should go to show you that this is not a card to be messed with, especially since they have recently run a tournament where one deck was able to just steamroll the whole tournament because they were able to get their Vexing Bauble out on turn one or whenever, and then they were able to capitalize on it, draw the card, put another one back out whenever they were done. And that's just wild. So this is a wild read. I would highly encourage anybody to, if just to take a look at, a different format. If you're playing Commander, if you're playing Modern, this is pretty interesting to think about. Then it goes on to say, like, so while Vexing Bauble's apparent purpose was to stop combo-esque free mana shenanigans, its real purpose in Legacy format now is to protect combo decks from free counterspells. The card is seeing play in Mystic Forge combo, Painter, Sneak and Show, and Red Stompy decks, all for the same purpose. As a result, people are starting to call for it to be banned. In a tweet from Zach Clark at the Pittsburgh Eternal weekend, this card needs to be removed from Legacy. It's not doing what it was intended to do. Stop unfair decks that play free spells. It's enabling unfair decks that lose to Force of Will, the literal backstop of Legacy. 15 copies were apparently in the top 8. Yeet this into the sun. Which, and that's not bad, but I mean, when there's, despite being 11 null rods in that top 8, 3 Mystic Forge decks made it there anyway. One even took down the event. So like I said, the Mystic Forge deck. And yeah, and I can agree, whenever you can one-sidedly keep somebody from even using a card, one of the most other powerful cards in the format, then you're doing something probably pretty good and also pretty bad. A tweet from Kelvin Wallace. My goal going into EW was Eternal Weekend was to get Vexing Bauble banned. I have given that my best effort with my play. Now it's time to make my case. I am happy to appear on any Eternal Magic focused podcast as long as I get to lay out my case for a ban. The players at the top of the Legacy format want to see this card gone, but some players do think that this kind of effect is needed in Legacy. Vexing Bauble appears to have gotten something wrong according to how things have gone. Some players suggest that the ability to turn this into a card is part of the problem. The buyout clause on Vexing Bauble is just such a cowardly design. I don't really play, but just ideologically, I would like to see that card banned and for them to try again with a similar card. But yeah, I mean, when the top 8 is just riddled with this one card, and I mean, it's not just those. I mean, there's other cards that are, people are calling for bans. Like, and this is like near the very end of this article. It says ban talks are reverberating across the Legacy community, and Vexing Bauble is a common name mentioned among them. Many players also agree that something out of Dimir Reanimator deck needs to go, and Psychic Frog or Entomb are the most commonly mentioned cards among them. Players also believe that Eldrazi need to be cut down, but the suggested card to go from that category is all over the place. The only commonality is that MTG players agree that something from the deck needs to be removed. December does have a ban announcement scheduled. Many players are anticipating a one-ring ban in Modern and most likely as the most likely action taken. But considering all of the ban talk in Legacy following the North American Eternal Weekend, there may be a case to move in on that format as well. So we all know that, and I mean, y'all may not know, but I know for a fact that the One Ring is just a amazing card, and not just the Commander format, but in multiple other formats that it's legal in. And for 4 mana to just keep drawing cards, and if you can just, in Commander, you can find a silly way to untap it, then tap it again on other people's turns. Yeah, to be able to draw multiple cards in a 60 card format with 20 life makes it a whole lot easier. But what do you guys think? Like I said, I do have these articles down in the description. what do you guys think about, the possibility of a millionaire billionaire buying out one of our parent company that is the one responsible for, what we've been seeing so far in Magic? And what do you think that Vexing Bauble? What do you think the solution to the Vexing Bauble problem is? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. But that is going to be it for today, and I'll see you guys next time in the airwaves.